Oh, nice song. Nice song. Hey, sorry guys, whoever was here before, like, I'm so stupid that I pressed the end stream. I didn't even stream for 10 seconds and I finished it. So yeah, hopefully we can have. This one is correct. This one is live. Yo Asura, what's up? You happy for your character? You happy for Lee? You happy that Lee is out? I don't play Lee. What? J Clash? Wow, hey J Clash, I think you are first time here. Let me see your channel. Let me see this. Let me see this. Nice. Gripe. Let me see my new man, my new viewer. Let's see his stats. Let's see. Oh, my man started account last year. What we have here? We have videos and we have shorts. How your shorts are doing? Wait a minute. Oh, you are this young? 7 months, yeah. Takes time. YouTube takes time. J Cash. No? Oh, welcome to the stream. That's my kid? Oh shit. My guy has kids before me. What a insanity. But yeah, nice. Family always nice. It's always nice to have. Always nice to have a family. Better than being lonely, like me. But yeah, I'm not here to complain about myself. I'm here to probably talk, probably watch some videos, and that's gonna be it for tonight. Because I have to wake up, my life is not in order, I have to like make schedule and follow it, which I don't, as always, but who cares? We need to get things going. Okay, what would do you... We're gonna watch whatever I have recommended, unless anybody wants to give me some suggestions, I will take it. Okay, enough. Two types of streamers.
Asman talking about Brock's performance and resulted in the 90 gifted sub donation. Thanks, Asman. Influenced real. Two types of streamers. What's this?
My whole speech about how I need subs and keep the stream going if you like the content, blah blah blah.
Oh Jesus,
how that
bro.
results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching?
What?
Wait.
Brock's, bro. Yep, there it is. You knew this is gonna be it, right?
One gives some subs.
By the way, this guy is a based World of Warcraft classic, probably Season of Discovery enjoyer. He is an OG. He is great. Brock's on Twitch.
Bro, he doesn't have to. Can I give that money back? Once again, you don't have to sub. Like, you don't have to. You can watch the stuff for free. Like, that's the best thing you can do. Thank you very much, brother. Hopefully one day I get to meet you with
Maybe in this year I'll come to BoysCon.
go and drink Dr. Pepper with you. I've only just recently converted to Dr. Pepper.
He's a smart dude.
But thank you very much, man. Appreciate the love. It's I'll be honest, everyone knows All the subs are going directly to my wedding, pretty much, which is in March.
Yeah, I saw he tweeted this at me.
Basically marrying the love of my life.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much, man. I was
Dude,
not
that's
expecting
amazing.
anything like this today.
This is so wholesome.
Oh my God, yeah, wow, congratulations to Brox. That's incredible. What a gentleman. Yeah, absolutely. That's so great. He seems nice. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Imagine that, just a nice, just regular old guy. I mean, shit.
Step up, Asmongold. Step up, man. Like everybody's saying. Max reacts to fun. What?
Let's go!
We have new sampler.
Phoenix.
Oh
Hell
shit.
yeah! Hell yeah!
What happened to this place?
It was
I got goosebumps.
It can't be.
He wants to finish what he started and rule over the planet.
You coming?
way ahead of you.
Ah. This
Get to work.
Tifa. Mwah.
You are truly a model soldier. We can handle this. I will reclaim our world.
Wow! Shit, I'm crying, bro. Shit! Tears in my eyes.
You know what?
Oh,
It's the best way to like, if you don't know about Final Fantasy, to watch Max, because Max knows everything about Final Fantasy. This is like a giga nerd for Final Fantasy, but he's cool.
holy
Nonetheless.
shit! Who edited this fucking trailer? God damn! I didn't even have a chance to
React.
process any individual moments and shit of what was going on, because the pace of it all is like, Jesus Christ. Very hopeful that this actually
1 minute.
leads to a 2024 PC release. I am super hopeful. I'm watching it again. Hold on a second.
But it's, I would say because Final Fantasy Remake Part 1 was released on PS4, and because PS4 was like very limited, it didn't have like, and after it went to the PS5, it was pretty okay. It was like somewhat on par. Like if you play it on PC, it's just like, it isn't that much big difference. I would say, but yeah, like who am I? I'm just an average player, you know, like below average even. What can I say?
What happened to this place?
Man, the big question, the big question is, will they do this differently? Will the story be different? That's the big question, yeah. And I think we won't get an answer. Probably. Cannot wait. So interested.
Started and rule over the planet.
You coming?
Way ahead of you. We have to help them.
Let's
I'm
get to
seeing
work.
new locations and everything, dude.
You are truly a model soldier. We can handle this. I will reclaim our world.
What is this goddamn absolute guttural scream here? Listen to this shit. Wait, what is... 5 seconds. All right, here we go, chat. You ready?
I will reclaim our world.
Come on.
I'll edit together the next one. Let me take the next everything before this. to have an answer. Now I want to know where it actually is going. Now I just want to know what their plans are, because as much as, you know, a lot of the deviations of stuff was kind of weird and it's sort of a tough swallow in Remake Part 1, I ended up really liking a lot of those things and what they ended up doing with the story. Like, bringing back Zack is some bold shit, much less like reevaluating the entire story of FF7 and making it a sequel and shit is like, whoa, holy, what are we doing here? And then hiding that shit in like the story is like, buddy, what the fuck is going on? I ended up really enjoying the discovery process, and what I want to do is to go through like that discovery process again with this game. I don't need to be reacclimated that the things that, or reaffirmed of my thought processes, much less all that kind of shit. I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for a good game, dude. Japanese trailer next? Nah, I don't want to look at it again. I don't want to look at any of the frames in that trailer again, to be real. Sorry, chat. Officially the most exciting game of 2024 through Famitsu Magazine in Japan and obviously Game Awards. Of course, the trailer goes over a lot. We're not going to go over any more of it, but we're going to talk about regional stuff, which is cool, right? But I still feel like they're holding out. I feel like there is definitely a...
Holy shit, that's
Hell yeah, brother!
gold
Wow.
saucer. Wow, the graphics.
That is quite high res. I love it. Recreating the old FF7 key art back in. So I'm wondering if we should be looking out for foliage moving, right? Things like the goddamn environment reacting a little bit more, which was not present in the previous build. I'm curious if that's going to be changing. Whoa, that's huge. That's huge.
Nice. We have so many nice things. D1 track at barely beat some random untrained dude. What if you had started earlier?
What if you could go back in time? The first thing people usually think about is buying Bitcoin, Apple stock or party hats. But well, monetary investments aside, what if you could go back and start learning whatever skill you're learning right now earlier? And I mostly mean going back to when you were still a kid, anywhere from 7 to, I don't know, 15 years old. People often praise children for their exceptional learning abilities, so what if you had your current knowledge of how to apply discipline, consistency, self-analysis and whatever else to what you're learning, combined with that infamous plasticity of a child's brain as well as free time? You would most certainly have a huge advantage in pretty much any field compared to other children, which means that you could most likely go pro in sports or games like chess. So what would you do given this opportunity? Maybe you'd even try out something new now that you have to no longer worry about being too old to start. Or would you prefer to keep on learning the same things as you are now and become some sort of a child prodigy in them? I don't really know how going back in time would work, but let's just assume that because you're a child again, you still have to go to school as well. So would you also try getting better grades this time? I mean, after all, you'd surely be pretty much smurfing throughout school now that you're more mature and disciplined, which should make school much easier than before, right? And after you're done with all your homework, you can start grinding whatever you've set your mind on. Just imagine how successful you would have been if you had been that proactive and consistent throughout your entire childhood. If you had started at the age of 10, already by the age of 20, you'd probably already be fluent in whatever language you want to learn, you could probably draw anything you want and code whatever application comes to mind. Or maybe you would already be known as a renowned chess prodigy. It's pretty fun to daydream about things like that every once in a while. I also often find myself thinking about the same thing when it comes to video games. For example, when I look back at these old high elo replays from League, I get a feeling that if I were to be sent back in time with my current skills, I could have easily gone pro back then. I also remember when the ranking system was released in OSU somewhere in 2014. It was really fun to come back daily and check the Estonian high scores. You'd usually see the same names, so after a while, you'd start remembering all the players, their best plays, statistics, and whether or not they're likely to pass you one day, or vice versa. Sometimes you'd also see a new name appear, and even though I never interacted with any of those players, I felt like I knew all of them. So for me, it really created a sense of community, and it was always a bit sad when somebody had clearly stopped playing. And one of those players was actually the rank 1 player in Estonia. I remember them having over 5,000 performance points, or PP, which back then was considered considered a lot.
PP.
I stopped playing Ghost 2 years ago myself as well. However, I had reached around 5300 PP before that, which basically means that if I were to be sent back in time with that account, I would have been rank 1 in my country. However, nowadays 5000 Peppy points almost means nothing. In fact, already in Estonia, over 150 players have over 5000 performance points, which puts them to a global rank of about 50,000. And I think it really goes to show how much of an advantage starting early gives you, especially nowadays as everything has become much more competitive, which has also forced everyone to improve at an exponential speed. I feel like the MMO, RuneScape, is also a good example of this. If there's any game that has a community obsessed with efficiency and grinding, it's RuneScape. But it used to not be this way. It's more of a trend that started from something like 2010. The game used to be much more about adventure, spending time with the community and having fun. In-game activities such as minigames used to be packed, and nowadays they're almost completely dead as most people consider them as XP waste. And also, most people who still play RuneScape are veterans, and pretty much every corner, secret and mechanic of the game has been thoroughly researched and documented, which means that now you have easy access to all the information you need to play as efficiently as possible. In a way, that's a really nice thing as it saves time and makes the game easier and sometimes a bit less frustrating. But well, at the same time, it removes a lot of the adventure from the game, and all of this has obviously changed the community itself as well. Back in the day, you'd buy a dark bow because that item was cool as hell as it shot 2 arrows at once. Nowadays, you'll be posted on r/slay cringe when you're caught using one, as it's less XP per hour than other methods.
So yeah, it used to be fun to do just, some little things like walk around, chop some bananas, feed your kitten, and now all you do is grind, and it's not because the game changed a lot, but because, you change because you want to be number 1, and for that you have to, kind of work for it.
And it's true, you change as well. Your ambitions, interest, environment, and personality have all probably changed at least to some extent compared to your childhood. People often say that children have so much free time, but I feel like it's more of a matter of adults having a sense of using one's time responsibly. I used to occasionally have very busy days during school as well, and I actually really hated school and homework, so when I was done with them for the day, I just did whatever I wanted and felt no guilt or dissonance over anything like wasting time, as I felt as if I had already finished my responsibilities for the day. And the thing is, having to do homework or go to school wasn't really my own choice either. As a child, becoming an adult and having responsibilities such as bills, chores, and work feel rather abstract. It's really hard to imagine what your life will be like once you enter adulthood, so you don't even really think about it, which is why it makes no sense when your parents force you to do some boring stuff and then say that you'll thank them when you're older. But once you do finally hit adulthood and become independent, you realize that no one is going to force you to go to school anymore, or even work for that matter. It's kind of your own choice. But I mean, now that you're an adult and independent, you also have to start paying your own bills, buying your own food, doing your own chores, and so on, because no one else will. So even if you have a choice, you sort of don't at the same time, because your lack of action has consequences, which forces you to take responsibility not only for your actions, but also inactions. The only choice that you do seem to have, however, is how you spend your free time. After an exhausting day of keeping yourself afloat, you could just relax and play some games. However, if you have any kind of career prospects, dreams, or goals that give you meaning and self-actualization, suddenly this free time doesn't really feel like actual free time anymore, but rather a resource that you can use to further develop your character. And once again, it's your own choice where or how you invest that time. So obviously, if you could go back in time, you'd get more of that resource. However, you can't go back in time. But I don't think that's really a problem, especially when it comes to childhood. Now, I'm not a parent by any means, but I think twice before trying to shove these kinds of productive activities on a child. Kids often learn by accident and through exploration. For example, they don't care much about the outcome of their drawings, they just draw for fun. And they also don't think about how to optimize their drawing exercises to get as good as possible as fast as possible, as they don't really see a reason to. That's also the reason why grindy courses such as Draw a Box aren't really recommended for children, as it turns their pure passion into a grind which removes the magic from it. Personally, I have so many good memories that I still draw inspiration from that were born from me just wasting XP and having fun as a child. Many of the things.
Oh my god, that fucking game. That game was I need to play it again, I think. Kurwa, there's so many games I would love to replay. This game was amazing.
From me just wasting XP and having fun as a child. Many of the things I do now professionally, such as video editing, are rooted in those times. For example, I got into video editing just from watching YouTube and playing games and wanting to have my very own in-game videos up on YouTube in something like 2008. And during those times, my motivation for learning skills or improving at hobbies was purely born out of passion and interest. I never considered what I was doing as any sort of career path or as a means to an end. It's harder to find the same kind of magic as an adult that you can find in almost anything as a child. And it's not even that children have some amazing learning abilities either. Often, adults can learn most stuff much faster than children can. The issue just is that as an adult, you get in your own way much more than you do as a child. For example, instead of just randomly wanting to draw and jumping into it without thinking too much about it, as an adult, you might think twice and come to the conclusion that there is no point in drawing because it will never get you anywhere, or that you might not have the time to finish the drawing, or that you'll feel bad and demotivated when your drawings don't really come out too well, or that you're too old to start drawing now. And it's not like you can just force yourself to draw for fun either, because having fun whilst doing something that requires effort is kind of more difficult than it may seem, especially if you're tired and would much rather just play League 16 hours a day. And all of this combined with generally being busy is what often makes people feel like they're too old to learn something new. But obviously most of the time that is just an excuse or a sign of not really realizing what you're capable of as long as you put in those hours and stay consistent. It's never too late to start now. Even if you're busy, 15 minutes to an hour a day will still make a much bigger difference than you might expect. But I mean, sure, maybe you'll never become a chess grandmaster at that rate, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try playing chess sometimes if you like the game. You can still casually participate in local amateur tournaments and chess clubs without having to make the incredible sacrifices or experience the enormous pressure that pro players must feel. Sadly, you can't always do everything. I myself also have many other things I want to do as well, ranging from more programming projects to playing games 16 hours a day. But unless it's for a good reason, I can't afford to sacrifice what I'm doing right now to find time for them. So the best I can hope for is that once I'm done with whatever goals or responsibilities I have right now, I'll be finally able to dedicate some time on them. It's not a bad thing to be responsible and to use your time as well as you can. Usually the most impactful people who have made the world a better place for all of us are some of the busiest people who have existed, and they've obviously had to make many sacrifices because of that. But at the end of the day, working towards something meaningful can be much more fulfilling than always defaulting to whatever's more comfortable. However, learning to appreciate the magic of consciously wasting some XP and staring at the clouds every once in a while, regardless of age, could also be a part of your journey.
Man. I have to speed it up because I don't wanna watch like videos for non-stop. Motivating. Snuck into Tekken God's Hotel. It got worse. Why I'll never be famous YouTuber. True Capoeira Master has arrived. Monster Raw. Guys Senate. What my man is doing here.
Units, split up, and search the different areas.
All right, I've got to do my best for Master Sakaki. Don't go out of your way just to get Master Sakaki's attention. Do you people get that?
What? And how can live stream be speed up? Can somebody explain this to me? Forever alone woman is preaching.
Trust me when I say this. I know where the girls are coming from when they say to decenter men, and that you shouldn't put any value into what men think of you or how they treat you because they're dog shit most of the time. Okay, I get that and I understand it. The problem I have is as a straight
I speed up this and she sounds normal.
To straight heterosexual men and would like to experience a romantic heterosexual relationship with a man, but has never had the opportunity to do so. It makes it hard to really accomplish that. And on top of that, I am force-fed content on and offline on a daily basis, seeing women who are truly valued and treated well by the men in their lives. And that makes me physically ill some of the time. Like having content shoved down my throat of how some women are treated by the men in their lives and how valued they actually are, and knowing that no man in my life has ever actually liked me, like at all, and has never valued me, literally at all. It kind of does something to the psyche and your self-worth and your self-esteem, no matter how much self-confidence you have. You know?
Every time I hear people say stuff like, yeah, fuck them, men are trash, all that stuff, it just makes me think of like that kid in school who was rejected, so then they just start hating on their crush, but they really just liked them the whole time. You know, so they start being mean to the crush. Hey, fuck, she's ugly, but deep down inside, they want to slob on that knob. They're kids, what are you talking about? What the f, bro? Yo, you've been wild today. You just pull out the gay shit out of nowhere and slobbing up the knobs of the kids. Yo. Anyways, let me move on to my metaphor. All this to say, this is a prime example of hurt people act like assholes.
Do you see your face when you do that?
What?
That's the only...
Yo.
That's the only reason I do that, because that when you
yeah, give me that just pearly things look. That's that 16-year-olds are hotter than 29-year-olds.
Yeah, that's that look. I'm just saying that because that's a funny thing to say. Your face does that.
Okay, careful, just don't make any tweets.
I'm not gonna make any tweets. I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not serious.
And my self-confidence and my journey with that has been a journey, you know. And I'm the most confident I've ever been in my life. So I don't really put up or accept men who treat me like dog shit anymore. But then that just leaves me having no interactions with men at all.
All the men you interact with treat you like dog shit. You're probably
not choosing the right.
I mean, so you knew it's something.
You know what the thing is?
You can't just keep encountering the opposite sex and they're always the same way. Like, what does that really say about men? Then I might as well start taking seriously the guys who meet women and like all the women I meet are gold diggers. It's like, do we take him seriously? No, we would tell him, you're being goofy, you're going after a certain type. If you're constantly mean dudes are always treating you badly.
Sometimes I wonder, when I talk to some people, sometimes they're like, all the people that I attract are doing that. And I'm like, all the people you attract? Yeah, all the people you attract. Is it all the people that you attract or is it all the people that you let in? That's people. You just say like that and people you attract. No, at some point you entertain them. There's other people that get, and I'm just in general, I don't know this lady, so I can't know if maybe all the people you attract, but that's kind of weird. If all the people you attract are dog shit or treating you like shit, I have a problem with that. Is it all the people you attract or all the people you let in? Because there's attracting and then there's selection. There's something that you do. Whenever you say that, when you say that sentence, it's like if you had nothing to do with it, you were just present, and then this would just happen to you. So there's that.
I don't think people really understand it unless they've been in this exact position themselves. And also the fact that my connection has to come from friends and family. Whereas those friends and family already have partners, and then they get their connection from them. And then I get the leftovers. And that feels really fucking good also. Literally no amount of self-love will replace what a romantic relationship can do for people. That's an inconvenient, sad truth that I feel like no one on this app really wants to accept. They just want to shove self-love down your fucking throat and individualism down your throat until you are so sick and tired of it that you come on this app, like I'm doing right now, and ranting about it. I just would love for a man to see me as the person that I really am, rather than what I can provide for him. Because I realize that's why a lot of women are in romantic relationships and partnerships with men, is that they have this currency that they can provide for men, this social status. And because I'm not skinny, I can't give that to them. So
okay, just to be clear, most of these dudes are not with skinny women because it's social currency. They're just with these skinny broads because they just find them more attractive.
I think type.
Yeah, a lot of men are not going to overlook the fact that you're overweight. You can choose to do something about it, or you can choose to wait and be patient for somebody who will. Does it make your options slimmer? Pun intended. Yes, you can't look at other people who made the right choices in regards to their own body and their health, and then be like, whoa, they're only being valued because they're skinny. No, they're being valued because they're choosing to do something that's probably more difficult than being obese.
The point that she was making about this app shoving down the throat that, self-love, and promoting individuality, I think that, I gotta give her that. I'm like, yeah, it does. The app does that. And people be saying that to you, and they're like, no, you're good. You have to improve yourself. No, and being in a couple feels good. Ask long love, whatever his name is. Yeah. Whatever, homie's there for me.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
So I gotta say you're right about that.
they don't take the time to see me as a real person and to get to know me as a real person.
Because they can't see your personality. And most people want a romantic partner, they want to. If they don't find you hot, they're not trying to find out what kind of shit you writing up in your diary. That's right. They don't want to see how intellectually you get over. They don't give a fuck. They're not attracted to you.
That's your advertisement.
And you know what? I'm pretty confident that if you were really not attracted to some guy and he was making a move on you, you probably wouldn't give him the time of day either.
Which is fine. But same. Same.
If I were to lose 150 pounds, then they would actually get to see me as a real person and they would get to know me as the person. But guess what? I'd be still the same fucking person.
One, you probably would be somewhat different even as a personality. But two, yeah. Absolutely.
That's how it works. Why, when you go apply for a job and you go to the job interview, tidy up? True. Why? Just why, whenever you have a job interview, you go in there and you're like, oh shit, no, I can't wear that. They're gonna think this. I can't wear this. I gotta put this shirt. I gotta put that. And then you sit and you're sitting straight. And when you get a handshake, you're like, if you be sloppy or you just wear regular clothes, if you wear your regular joggings or whatnot, you're still gonna be the same. You're gonna be the same exact person. But why? You could be going in the job interview like that. I could be going in the job interview like that. No guarantees we're getting the job. Okay, no guarantee. Yo, what's up, partner? You good? I'm still the same dude, and I can give the same service, or I have the same attribute. I know how to work everything. But why? So it's the same thing, I guess, in the dating world. You're still gonna come at your best, and sometimes your base of what you have doesn't fit certain standard. I'm pretty sure that if I go in certain countries, I don't fit the standard. People are gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna date you because my parents are not gonna approve, or whatever, this and that, and the third.
I'm still me. I wouldn't fucking change. Only my body would. But then automatically that gives them value. That gives them social currency. Even though I didn't change. In here, I didn't change. Just my body did.
I just reject that. Like, changing your body is more than just changing your body. It's an act of self-care. It's about how you view yourself and your own wants and needs. Okay? And I'm not talking about somebody who's thick versus somebody who's skinny. I'm talking about people who are like severely obese. Like, when you take time to focus on yourself and make that weight go down and treat yourself well and you feel physically better, it's you caring for the very thing that makes you move through life. That's not just changing your body. It's showing some level of dedication, some level of effort, some level of like, I know, discipline. Like, there's a lot of reasons to appreciate that beyond just like my body changed. So I don't like the reductionist attitude that she has in regards to that. Because most people who've had to lose a substantial amount of weight will tell you it is not just a physical thing. It's mental. It can oftentimes be spiritual. It changes the way you move through life.
And so many women do that. And they go through that just so that they are valued. And how fucking sad is that? How fucking sad is that? But that's just how the world is. That's just, you gotta play the game. Okay.
Nobody was ever going to give me a chance and see my beautiful soul, who I was as a person, and it's heartbreaking. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think what she said about people always talking about self-care on the app and, whatever, fuck the other gender. All that gender war stuff is mad corny to me. It's just like, we need each other. All this hostility that the gender seem to have towards each other, I've lost my interest in the whole dynamic. But as far as the individual goes, whether you be man or woman, I hope everyone makes an effort to take care of themselves and to do the things that they can to maximize their own health. And if that leads to better results in a dating thing, that's not hypocrisy, it's not a bad thing. I think it's an indication that people who are dating out here want partners who are living a relatively healthy lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. I also say, back in the day, you never heard this stuff, but back in the day, people weren't as fat as they are today either.
And back in the days, you didn't have social media, so yeah, of course, you weren't hearing that stuff as much. As much.
Like, I look at my mom's pictures from that generation, and like, finding an obese person was incredibly difficult. Like, this is a new thing that's come because of the fact that obesity has exploded. So yeah, people are becoming more strict about that kind of stuff, but it's because we used to already have that standard set up before. No. So that's just something I want to add.
But there's some people. There's some people that are actually born in that world. We were not born in a world where there was that acceptance. You understand what I'm saying? Sure. So there's people that are born in acceptance, and then they turn around and they're like, it's like the speech. There's a match where we really at. The speech is like, no, we should, and then they're like, yeah, we should, and then that's good, and then they realize that, oh wait, shit, it's not. People are not really accepting the fact. So we were not born in those eras of acceptance. We had to actually change our minds. You understand what I'm saying? They don't. She's probably what, 21, 22. She was born into that. She experienced that. Born with a phone in her hand. So that's that as well.
Yeah. Born with the phone in her hand. Amazing. I have I'm finding some. Oh my god, Wolsk, I cannot talk to this. There's nothing to watch. Good, I cannot find nothing.
I think the most common questions human beings ask one another are, the way I'm phrasing this already sounds like some kind of alien who's studying our species, but I think the most common questions people ever get asked are, what are your favorite or least favorite somethings? Or what's the best or worst blank? Example, what's your favorite food? What's your least favorite movie? What's the worst date you've been on? What's the best note you can hit when singing? For me, it's this. That kind of thing. It's a super common question everybody asks someone new that they're meeting for the first time, but it's a question that I feel 99% of people don't have an answer to, because it's pretty difficult to choose one answer to those questions. It's not something you really think about. But I am not 99% of people. Sheep. I am 99% gamer. So I've always tried to come up with an answer to every conceivable question that goes in this format, and last night on stream, chat asked me, what is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life? And I didn't even have to think hard about it, because I already knew. The worst pain I've ever experienced in my life was a urethral swab at like a standard STD checkup at my urologist. An STD checkup I didn't need, mind you. I wasn't down there sporting anything alarming, but I got it just because he asked. And being a hypochondriac, anytime I'm asked to do like testing or whatever, I just give it a big old thumbs up and say, let's run it. And what a mistake that was. He informed me that it was going to be a urethral swab for this procedure, and this being my first time doing an STD check, I thought it was standard protocol, and in my head I pictured that it'd just be like a really tiny doohickey that he'd stick into the tip of my wiener hole and pull it out, and that'd be that. But my worst nightmares couldn't have prepared me for the gizmo he brought out. It wasn't small. This man armed himself with a medieval pike with a cotton ball on the end. And I knew right away this was going to turn into something so much worse than I could have possibly envisioned. I talked about it on stream as well as another similar experience, so I'll go ahead and play those clips, but it really is horrible. So I want to front load this by letting you know, never do a urethral swab under any circumstances. My voice is cracking out of fear just reminiscing on this. I swear to God, he brought out like a fucking train spike to shove down there. Like, he basically got out like a wooden spike like he was trying to drive it through the heart of a vampire through my cock. It was brutal, and I think it did cause like serious damage. What's the worst injury you've ever had? Thanks for some Songi. You're gonna think I'm memeing, but I'm being super serious. I made a whole video on this. I got a urethral swab, and it is probably still to date one of the worst pains I've ever felt. I went to a urologist for just like a general checkup thing, and for some reason he decided to administer a urethral swab, and I had never felt such excruciating agony. Didn't you say you had a wet dream right after the urethral swab too? It's been so long now, I can't remember if I had a wet dream. I think I did. Because I vaguely do remember coming, and it being really bad from it. I can't remember if I, like, jerked or if I had a wet dream. It's been too long now. But the thing is, like, he put it in, and then he, like, swishes it around. Just, like, tearing it up to cause maximum damage. And then I was just bleeding for days. I had to call in a prescription for some kind of, like, penile injury thing. Why didn't you request a female doctor, or did you not care? From my urologist? That's the creepiest thing ever. Excuse me. Can you please fetch a woman for this? I'd like to show her my package during this examination. Of course I didn't fucking do that. No. And I hope you don't do that. Excuse me. Can you get a nurse to come swab my penis with her mouth? Yeah, that's... I don't... Have you never been to a urologist? It's not like porn, man. You're there for a purpose. Did you ask your doctor why he was spelunking in your junk? No, I went home. In pain. I never went back. After he urethral swabbed me, I went to another urologist the next time I needed to go somewhere for it. Anywhere but there. Thanks, boss. I even looked it up, and this was 7 years ago, mind you, and even at the time, they're like, urethral swabs are obsolete, nobody does these anymore, if anyone suggests it, you can just decline, no one should be suggesting it, like, it's so outdated. And yet, this guy annihilated me with it. It was so bad, I don't remember if I said this in the story I made on it 7 years ago, it was so bad that I was afraid of peeing, so what I did is I went to Publix, fucking bloody trousered because my wiener wouldn't stop bleeding, and I bought an entire box of salted pumpkin seeds, because it was the highest salt content thing I could find, and I just hammered pumpkin seeds all night, so that way I wouldn't pee, because when I did, it was horrible. Horrible. Bro, you got griefed. No, for sure, though. Like, again, even 7 years ago, that was obsolete. Sounding is not for me. Yeah, I learned that day. That is not my kink.
Kind of cool. It doesn't have that hard edge. It just kind of blends everything together a little bit more. And again, you can ease it in and out if you want and make any kind of changes to customize it. Now, here's a cool tip for you. Let's say you made a bunch of custom settings. You adjusted the time. Let's say I'm going to just drop that down a little bit. You moved it off center a little. You did some other things. You feathered it. Maybe I don't want to use the arrow iris. Maybe I want to try the oval iris instead. Well, you could just click on this and drag and drop it onto your clips. But it's going to reset all those custom settings that you just came up with. So in order to keep those custom settings, if you come to transition type right here at the top of the inspector, click the drop down. Now we can choose any one of the transitions that are in our effects library.
Oh no, not again.
It's gonna keep all of our custom settings that we just created. So let's say I wanted to do
it's
the
our
oval
friend.
iris. I'm gonna click on that.
Hi, man.
And now it kept all of our settings. So if I play through with our oval iris, boom, there you go. It keeps my settings. You don't have to recreate it each time. And if you like it that much, just go ahead and save it as a preset. It's going to be in your effects library and you can use it anytime that you want. So let's say you've got a transition that you like and you just want to copy it from one clip to the next clip. How do we do that? Pretty easy. You can just come in and select your clip, and if you're having trouble selecting it, zoom in a little bit more on your timeline, and that's going to help you select it. Then you want to hold your Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac, get your little pointer there, click, drag, drop, and that's how you're going to copy your transitions. Now, maybe you've got a bunch of transitions. They're all the same kind like we just copied here, but you want to make a change. And you don't want to go through and do every single one at a time because that's a pain, and you don't want to have to drag new transitions on or copy them again because that's a pain too. How can we edit multiple transitions at once? Again, pretty easy. Select your transitions. So select your first one, and you can use either Command or Control to select multiple transitions. And again, if you're having a hard time selecting them, zoom in a little bit on your timeline. That's going to help. And then once I've selected them, I can come on up to the inspector, open that up, and we can make any adjustment that we want, and it's going to apply to all of our transitions. Now, you do need to have the transitions be the same transition, otherwise I think it's going to mess them up. But you can come in and change them to be whatever you want. Say I want to change my border a little bit, want to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's good. Now, can we double check it? So let's see, our border is 289. So if I click each one individually, 289, 289, and 289. So that worked out pretty good. So that's how you can edit multiple transitions at once using the inspector. Now let's talk about how do we set a default transition for DaVinci Resolve. By default, when you open Resolve, you start using it, the cross dissolve is going to be your default transition. But let's say, I don't want the cross dissolve. I want something a little more fun and exciting. Super easy. Check it out. Go into your effects library, again, to your transitions, video transitions. And you want to just scroll, and let's say, here's one that I use a lot, the foreground wipe. And let's say I want to make it my default. You can right click on that transition and come to set as standard transition. And you can see once I do that right here in the corner, it now has that little red tick mark there. That's going to tell me which transition is set up as my default transition. Now that's going to come in handy for the keyboard shortcut I'm going to show you in a minute here. But before we get to that, let's take a look at another little feature here, and it is this little star right here. That's going to allow you to add the transition to your favorites. Let's say you've got maybe 2, 3, 4 different transitions you use all the time. If you click on that little star, it's going to add it right down here into your favorites. So you don't have to scroll up and down all the time looking for the one that you want. You can just come down to your favorites, drag it over, and drop it onto your clips. So having favorites comes in handy, and it's a nice little feature to have. So now that you've set your default transition, let's say maybe you want to change the default duration of your transition. I think by default it's 1 second, so depending on your frame rate, it works out to be about 1 second. But let's say that you wanted to change that. How do we change that? It's pretty easy here. You want to come into DaVinci Resolve, the menu up at the top left here. Come on down to Preferences. That's going to open up this window for you. You want to be under User right here at the top. Come on down to Editing. And you want to scroll down a little bit to General Settings right here. Under the General Settings here, we have Standard Transition Duration. And you can set this to be whatever you want in seconds, or if you want to do it in frames, you can do it that way too. I know for me, a lot of times I make it shorter than 1 second because I just think it looks better for some of the transitions that I frequently use. But the default here is 1 second, and you can change that to be whatever you want. Just as a little bonus here, see, you can change your still duration. If you're putting in pictures in the Resolve, you can change the standard duration for that too. There's a lot of other cool stuff here, but that's for another video. Once you set a duration that you want, go ahead and hit save. You're good to go. Any new transition you drop onto your timeline is going to be in that duration that you set there. Next, we're going to talk about some handy keyboard shortcuts here that are going to allow you to add transitions to your clips a whole lot quicker. But before we do, I want to take a minute to talk about Motion Array. So these clips that I have in my project file here are from Motion Array, as well as the music track here from Motion Array. They have so much great stuff, assets that you can use in your videos that really bring your videos to that next level. They've got all kinds of awesome templates and intros and outros and graphics, overlays. I mean, the amount of stuff they have there is awesome. I'm always looking on there to try and find things that I can use in my video, and really it just helps bring everything to that next level. So if you're looking for some awesome assets for your videos, you definitely want to check out Motion Array, see what they have to offer, and see if it's something that you might be interested in. And I do have a link in the description below that's going to save you $50 on a yearly subscription. Thank you to Motion Array for sponsoring today's video. So getting into the keyboard shortcuts here, let's say we want to add transitions to only our video clips, and we just want a keyboard shortcut to do it. Now keep in mind, whatever transition you have set as your default transition here, remember with the little red tick there on the transition, that's what's going to be applied by using these keyboard shortcuts. So the first one here we have is Alt plus the letter T, or Option plus the letter T if you're on a Mac. So if I select my 2 clips and I use Option for me, Alt probably for a lot of you guys, press letter T, it's going to drop that transition right onto my clips. Now you notice it's going to do the beginning, the middle, the end. It's going to do all of the cuts of those clips that you selected. You can select as many clips as you want. It'll only drop it onto the video portion of your clips. Now let's say you try that and you get an error message that looks a little something like this. If I select these two clips, Option or Alt T, and you get a message that looks like this. Now, the reason this is coming up is because you don't have enough overlap between your two clips, like we talked about earlier in the video. So you can have Resolve trim the clips automatically for you right here. Click, 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 trim clips. There you go, a little tongue twister there. And it's going to automatically trim them enough to put in that transition. Or let's say there's a certain clip like this one in the middle where there's no overlap, but I don't have any room to overlap those clips. I don't want to trim them. You can hit skip clips, and then it's only going to put the transition where it can. It's not going to trim any of the clips. It'll just put it where it can. So in this case, if I hit it, you see it doesn't do it in between the clips right here. It only applies it on the end right here. So another cool feature here in Resolve with transitions is the ability to add audio transitions. Now let's find them. If we come back to our effects library, make sure that's open, you've got audio transitions. Now there's only 3 by default. You've got the crossfade minus 3 dB, and crossfade plus 3 dB. So maybe you want to use this when you're transitioning between one song to the next song, but let's see how these work. So if I just make a cut in my audio clip right here, let's say I want to apply a transition, again, just like the video transitions, drag and drop, put it right on my clip. Now you do need to have a little bit of overlap with your audio clips as well, just like you do with your video clips, so keep that in mind. Now, if I undo that, now let's say I got a bunch of clips that I want to add a crossfade transition to the audio. Maybe it's, speaking clips for me, and it's all broken up and I want it to just transition a little smoother. The transitions are a little harsh. We can do that with a keyboard shortcut. So just select all the clips that you want to apply the transition to. Again, it's going to be the default transition, which in this case for audio is the crossfade 0 dB. So it's not raising or lowering anything. And if you hold the shift key plus the letter T, boom, it's going to drop on that transition onto audio-only clips. So that's a quick way to do it. If you've got a lot of audio clips, you want a little bit of a transition or fade in there from one clip to the next to help just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Now, let's say I wanted to add transitions to the video clips and the audio clips at the same time. And keep in mind, the default transition is what is going to be applied to both your video clips and your audio clips. Easy enough, we can come in here, select all of our clips, and this time you want to use Control on a PC or Command on a Mac plus the letter T. So for me, Command T. And you notice I get this message because there's some clips that need to get trimmed. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, trim the clips. And now you can see we've got transitions on all of our video clips as well as our audio clips. So that wraps up this video on transitions, guys. I hope it was helpful. Comment below if you've got questions, you're not sure about something.
And not
also,
reaction.
if you are a beginner, drop a comment below with things that you want to learn. Try to make things simple for you.
Reaper, this is my time. I'm watching some things that I want to know. Like I need to learn my skill. Don't panic when you forget to sync external quick tip, wrong input color space. The way to fix.
Have you ever run into this problem before where your images just don't have the right color when you bring it in DaVinci Resolve? Maybe even your video clips don't have the right color, but you work in a color managed workflow and you're like, what's going on here? Why does this color look so off? Sometimes I get images that look like this. No! And that's not right. Let me show you how to fix it. It's quick and easy. Check it out. So I'm here in DaVinci Resolve, and I've got logos I use all the time here in a power bin. For example, the YouTube logo, it looks pink. What's going on with that? Or I've got the DaVinci Resolve logo, and the color is just too saturated, right? What's going on with that? Well, I work in a color managed
most
workflow
of the time you watch Uber slow.
In log
no,
footage.
I watch
and what
delusional people.
All these images are being treated as if they were in part of that color space, which they're actually not. They should be sRGB. So if I come in here and I just Control or Command A to select all of them, and you can do this with your video clips in your particular project in any bin as well, I'm going to right click, come down to color space, and I'm going to change this for these images to be sRGB. So when I click on this, watch our DaVinci Resolve logo. Boom, now our logo looks good. If we check our YouTube logo, okay, that is YouTube red. There we go. Just so you can see the difference here, if I right click on the YouTube logo and I change the input color space back to the project, which I use as Canon Cinema Gamut and Canon Log, now we get our incorrect color for our YouTube logo. So I'm going to again come back, right click, input color space, back to sRGB, Drop it in my timeline, the YouTube logo, or any other image that you might have, or video clip is going to look good here in your timeline. So keep that in mind when you're working in a color managed workflow. If something...
Okay. What I have? Gaming. I don't play games. There's a lot of delusional people out there, but they will be absorbed by the tooth guy. Oh my god, Reaper, you and your delusions. You are also delusional, but yeah. I cannot stop you from being this. I beat up these Oogers. Dude, I bet there are some Oogers that gonna beat you. That is for sure. Wait 1 second. Check some. If I give a girl a katana, you think they will know how to use it? Reaper, girls don't have to use fucking katanas. What the fuck is wrong with you sometimes? I go to toilet 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to. We need to finish this game. I need to finish this game. Yo boys, I'm back. Once my Reaper, kurwa, you're not gonna be beating woman. You need to find a woman and not beat woman. What the fuck is wrong with you? Man, you are acting this way, but really, man. Get some help. Get some help. Kurwa, where I need to go? Here you have your gameplay. I wish I would be done with this game a little bit. Yeah, we got tough girls, but those are UFC martial arts girls, but most of them are ghosts, and they think they... What shit. Fucking hell, man. Fuck, I almost fall down. Fucking hell, man. Fuck! And the biggest enemy in this game is the fucking camera for me. Andrew Tate beats up woman. And what, you wanna be the next Andrew Tate? I love Andrew Tate. Jesus Christ, man. The only thing I respect about Andrew Tate is that he's this world champion. And other than this, I think he's a moron. Son of a bitch! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you let me? There is something wrong. And your Tate, Mr. Bean, Vulgar Legends. Look, yes, sleeper. You need better role models for sure. Kurwa, I hate this fucking camera bullshit. There we go. And I forgot how annoying this game is. Yo, Ash. They practice headgear game, people. Okay, we are making progress. Son of a bitch. What do I need to do here? Should you stop? Should you stop or keep going? I don't know, repair. And should I jump? Try to jump there. fuck it. Gonna save this. Jump tends to be some shit. Ah, shit. Shit. Man, I can imagine that. Ask her, Triablo. Man, this would be so annoying on PlayStation to reload this shit all the time. I'm not trying this again. Oh! Right, let me at the same time check. Oliver. Man, they could do a remake of this game and it would be amazing. Kurwa, the camera is insane. What's this? Oh, not god, again this shit. Songitto, how many girls have you used up in a lifetime? Or did you lose count? Like if I have to like... Well, that's a hard question because I was actually used most of the time. To be honest. But I used maybe... It depends. Depends what you mean. Fuck off. The fuck? I cannot believe this. Because if we talk about my whole... Oh my god, I hate this. When you turn 60, your penis can still be strong. So, oh my god, Reaper. Sometimes I read your things and I know... And I have instant regrets sometimes after reading your thing. Friend and talk about this topic. Fuck, it's not here. Hopefully it's this one. Fuck, it's not. Kurwa. On the other side there are also two. Yeah, I need to take this one out. Kurwa. That's what I hate in this fucking game. It's non-stop this fucking puzzle. Man, I wish I was divorced and had a son or something. Fuck, I need to. Man, I was thinking I have the nerve for this game. And how about yeah, I would need to adopt Reaper. Okay, let me see this. This gonna go somewhere there. Let me think. I should turn this. I hate this fucking thinking. Too much thinking in this game. Now if I turn it, I need to turn it one more time like this and take it out like this. It from the other side. Then I get this thing. There. I love this fucking camera. Oh, I'll kill my ass. Fucking hell. Didn't fit. Oh my god. That's why you can adopt kid or donate your sperm to the bank. That's why your kid can be raised in a different family. Later you meet him. Yeah, but my... Big Pipe, do I have to answer those fucking questions? I was thinking about this. Also like donating sperm or some shit. Why not? Somebody wanna use it? Be... What if you never meet this son of yours and he turns out to be madman? Why? Why so many riddles? It's gonna be this one is suspicious. Come on, man. Oh, it's weird, that's fine. Let me see something. Yeah, I think this one goes here. Man, this game. Let me think. Then like this. Then like this. Kurwa mać. Very bad with this bit. Fuck. This makes no fucking sense. Yeah, I'm gonna down like this. Right, what next? I love hot moms. I don't think hot moms like you. Oh fucking hell, there's more I need. Oh, fuck. Okay, pause time. I need to figure this out. Like the guy is spending here 20 minutes moving this shit. Holy shit, man. Przepraszam, go nabrał. Ja. Fuck. Gonna finish this and I'm done, because like this is nonsense. Look. Hello, look. What game is this? It's a Soul River. Soul River 1. What do I gain from this? I need to save this. Fucking hell, this game is so tiring, it's not fun even anymore. 99, kurwa. So I did for what? Let me check what this guy is doing here. You stuck on a puzzle? No, I'm kind of stuck in the game. Man, let me restart this shit. Oh, come on, do I have to get out of full screen? Man, I hate every time I like zoom in. It does this shit. I can play a little bit. Okay, now it's okay. Man, but what was this for? Fucking cameras. Oh, I got some new power. Fucking hell. Let me see what's happening here. That's it, I'm gonna go back. Don't tell me you are going back. Man, I don't understand how those gates work at this point. I really don't. How the fuck he did that? Why your game is so blues? Because sometimes the textures don't load properly. Because I am also using the 60 frames mode, high resolution mode, widescreen mode. So the game sometimes doesn't, especially when I go check on YouTube how it looks. Okay, why they push me here? Why they want me to go here?
Like a corpse in a shallow grave.
Okay, I have to see this woman. Why? Oh, I
Like a
subscribe.
corpse in a shallow grave, corruption rises to the surface. Beyond these pillars, the defiled victim mutely screams its outrage. Corruption victim.
What you gonna do now? Fuck. Thank you for subscribing. Ale zbliżamy się do... Oh my god. Okay. I am finishing the stream. Sorry guys. Strife. Hello Strife. What's up? I'm about to finish the stream. I'm too tired. Why there are two doors? You seem tired. You seem blood. Yeah, I'm training. I'm training my agility before I start.
The ancient tomb of the Seraphim, once impenetrably sealed, now ravaged by Nosgoth's upheavals, its mysteries lay exposed. In the time of Vorador, centuries before Cain was made, the Seraphim warrior priests waged a merciless war against the vampire tribes of Nosgoth. Emboldened by righteousness, they committed unspeakable and indiscriminate acts of violence, massacring fledglings and ancients alike. They decimated entire bloodlines in mere decades. Now their husks lay here, murderers enshrined.
Yeah, I'm gonna save here and tomorrow we continue. We are halfway done with this bullshit ass game. But yeah. And that's it from me guys. Thank you whoever was here and whoever be here. I am done. Have a nice day. Or nice night, depending where you are. Because for me it's night, it's almost morning and I have to really go to bed. Get that fucking sleep undergoing.